Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy. Today, I have a very special guest with me. No pressure at all, but she is a very funny woman, and we could definitely use a laugh right about now. It's Kate Mulligan in the
Oh, thank
house.
you for having me on, Roxy.
Yeah, of course. Kate, I just showed you probably the most aggressive thing we've seen during COVID this entire time. I know that we've been talking about it on the internet for the last like 20 hours, but Ezra Miller getting a little aggressive with the fan. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I know that you're still reeling with the shock of the video that is Ezra taking a fan to the ground.
Well, when you said you're like he like tackles a fan or he chokes a fan, I was thinking like, oh yeah, like okay, like I thought like whatever. And then to watch it, I'm like, no, he like very slowly places his hands around a woman's neck, grabs her by the back, and then like it was like
I know.
it wasn't like an accident.
I don't even know what to make of it, but we'll definitely talk about that. Also, the question is starting to really come up of how long are we going to be in quarantine? Like, just how long is this going to be? People seem to have all different opinions on that. So I want to hear from you and also what you've been doing with your quarantine. I cannot imagine having a family during this time, probably in the same way you cannot imagine being alone during this time.
No, I can't imagine having a family during this time either.
And you know, I respect you for it.
Well, no, I gotta tell you, my kids are the right age for this because they're.
What's the right age? What's the wrong age?
Well, I feel like the wrong age would be an 18-month-old baby who's like just wanting to walk and want to explore. Like and they don't watch TV yet. Like I just feel like that would be impossible to keep occupied all day long.
How many hours of TV a day?
So you're not supposed to do over 2. So like my kids get, but like I'll tell you what, they get 2.
Like a full 2.
Like a full like we never do TV in the morning, and then like after the baby naps, the baby's like 2 now. We just call him the baby.
What is we never do TV in the morning? Like, is that just on principle?
Well, it's because what I tried to do is emulate their school day. So like they go to preschool in the morning. So we just never did like they wake up, we get ready, and then like we call it Mama and Dada school, and we like have activities. And like Monday they do a music class at school. So like during the day I'll do like a music thing with them.
Did you say Dada?
Dada.
Wait, before you continue, people in here are saying that you need to be louder. So I'm like, I don't know how to.
Maybe I need to be closer, or do I need to turn this
up? Oh, that sounds better. Yeah.
That's not better.
Yeah, sorry. Whatever you just did, you guys let her know.
Thanks, guys.
You guys are so great. Thank you.
Sorry, guys.
Well, what about Saturday morning cartoons?
So Saturdays is a different story because I've started to try to introduce them into Saturday morning cartoons.
Like you guys are gonna love this, trust me.
Like, yeah. And I'll be like, okay, so Woody Woodpecker. I'm sorry, I'm trying to make this frame better.
I think it's perfect, and you're perfect, and let yourself live. Just so nice of you.
You're too young for. Did you ever watch Pee-wee's Playhouse?
No, duh. I watched Pee-wee's Playhouse.
You did? You're not too young for that?
Well, I don't know if
you don't watch it like live
because they always played like Pee-wee's Playhouse just kept going. It just kept on.
I felt like they took it off once he was masturbating in that theater.
No, I do remember that
casually.
Yeah. But you know what? In comparison to 2020 issues, I'm not so mad about somebody masturbating in a theater.
Who did it hurt? Who did it hurt?
Yeah, you know, it's like just not as bad. I mean, like, on this show the other day, we were talking about did you see Louis C.K. dropped a new special?
I haven't. Somebody had just sent it to me, but yeah.
So he dropped it on his own website, and you have to pay for it on his website. We were talking about like, is that right? Is that wrong? Should he be able to do that? Are people going to watch it? And so when we're having to talk about situations like that, like I'm not so mad about Pee-wee anymore.
I feel like you think about like just Cosby. You're like, he's not a Cosby. Paul Ruben's not a Cosby.
Cosby and Weinstein. That's like the
real.
I want to say golden standard.
I was about to, yeah. It's the gold standard of
golden shower standard.
Yeah, the golden. Yeah, it's the golden shower. Oh, actually, R. Kelly for that matter too. Speaking of golden shower standard.
Yeah, I mean, he's almost in some ways okay. If we're having to compare, which we don't ever have to do, but on this show, I guess we will.
No, we do.
I do almost feel as if R. Kelly is worse than Weinstein. I'm not positive about that, but the underage element is so hard for me to
That's correct.
but then also they're both ruining lives. So there's that. But the underage element of Cosby and R. Kelly is like,
Well, because there's like definitely a disease there.
that
Like
is an illness.
it's an
It's
yeah. I mean, there's a thing.
everywhere.
Yeah.
All of it is a disease.
All of it's a day. I know, but it's
I'm kind
also
of wishing I didn't have to in at this time think like, because when we're talking about how to punish people, there has to be varying degrees. So I almost feel like each law should be named. A law should be named after the person that we had to set the law for.
That's
So
right.
like when you get sentenced to like the R. Kelly sentence versus which is not fully existent right now, as
I
a
don't. Yeah.
or the Bill Cosby sentence, like they should take ownership of those, and then we should just be like, ooh, when this person does this, ooh, that's similar to that. They should get the Louis C.K. situation, not the Harvey Weinstein
Right.
situation.
That's right. That's
So
right.
this is
Yeah.
why I've gone to law school and clearly that's all the answers.
Where did you fall on the Louis C.K. thing?
Here's where I fell. So first of all, he's from my hometown. So he was our hometown hero. He's from Newton, Massachusetts.
I mean,
and
you have to understand, I deeply love the man.
he was like he was my favorite comic. He is like, I think his show was a top 3 show. I mean, it was to me everything.
Did you ever see? I'm sorry to interrupt, but did you ever see Horace and Pete?
I did see Horace and Pete,
Which was like he just basically wrote a play. It was amazing. I loved it. We loved it. Yeah.
But I saw like a bootleg, like because that was the animated thing, right?
No, Horace and Pete was he did like his own TV
see
tour.
it. I thought
He
that
did
I
this.
saw it.
It's incredible. Like Laurie Metcalf's on it, and it's like going to see a play in New York. But
What am I thinking of?
It was like a bar, and he had incredible people. Like A.D. Bryant was on. I don't know. Steve Buscemi was in it.
I don't know what I'm thinking of. No, I didn't see Horace and Pete then. Then I need to.
Yes. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
I love. No, I'm glad you said that. But also, I don't need to now. I guess I don't know. But so where I lie with it was, I wouldn't be able to watch and enjoy it at this point yet because I'm not good at separating the art from the artist, and so I don't want to spend $8 on something that I know I will not enjoy at this point in time because I will just be thinking about that the entire time.
Right.
But zero judgment on anybody who does watch it. He is one of the funniest people on the planet. And right now, when we're all in quarantine and need to laugh, you got to do what you got to do.
Totally.
I also don't think that Louis C.K. is Harvey Weinstein. I also don't think he's Bill Cosby.
No.
But I also don't think he did great things, but I don't think he did the world's worst things.
No.
So that's kind of when more time goes by, maybe I feel differently.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, this may be a very unpopular take, but my take on Louis C.K. Now, listen, I admit that this is coming with severe bias because I really do like him. But I do feel like it sounds.
You know him personally?
No. I have friends like that have worked with him, but no, I've never met him. But I just think like, and I just loved his representation on a show. I loved everything. I just think he's great. I think he's funny. I think he's so smart. So I know this may be biased, but I do feel like in his case, it seems like, so he had a thing that he liked to do, right? It sounded like he always asked permission for it, which then when he gave his apology, which I thought was the best apology we heard from anybody, he said, like, I understand now that because I was in a position of power, even though I was asking permission, I was not really giving them the freedom to say no because I was leveraging my power over them.
Right.
But I feel like that, and so I just guess I say like it's not even to me in the same world as those other guys because he like sort of acknowledges it, and he did. It seemed like, I don't know. It just seems like in most cases with him, it seems like he was sort of like, hey, is it cool if I whatever? And like that would be really like if he said it to me, I'd be like, sure.
Yeah, it's hard because like a lot of the women describe it as him doing that, like forcing them to be in that position. And I think force can be misconstrued and what that word means, because force means physical force, but force also means they feel as if they cannot turn it down or leave.
Yes.
also, and I do agree that he acknowledged that, and I thought that his apology also was the best of what we'd
Was the best
heard,
thing, yeah.
but then I feel like he didn't chill for that long.
I agree.
I think he could have chilled for him, and also I don't know his situation, so like financial, I don't know how long he physically could chill for. But
Right.
if your apology was true the way it felt true at the time, I think you have to chill for a minute. Like you have
Yeah.
to just not even a minute, like give it a full 2 years, and then be like, I have gone to therapy. I have been working on this. I have committed myself to giving any of my finances from this album towards this or this thing, like whatever, and come back and be like, this is what I'm
Totally.
doing. Because what you did is not unforgivable, possibly.
Right.
But it is like for me to feel like you understood. It was like 6 months later before he was back at
No, I
comedy
know.
clubs, and it was just take your time, do your time. I know you're not going to prison, but put yourself in like your own and really do the work. But I hear you completely.
Yeah.
Ugh, such a tough
Anyway.
situation.
Yeah.
Speaking of happier things, lighter
Yeah.
things. Larry Leeson here says, "Come on, guys, hit that like button. Thank you, Larry, for pimping out my stream so I don't have to." Larry also says, "Roxy, will you send your rock star some cookies? Kate, so glad you're here."
Oh, thanks,
It
Larry
sounded
Lee.
like a sexual thing, but really, I baked cookies last night.
Oh.
This is what I do now, Kate. This is how
Yeah.
freaking lame this is. I bake 2 at a time. I put 2 cookies in at a time because what the fuck am I gonna do with an entire batch of cookies? I'm gonna eat it all.
I was gonna say your self-control is really to be applauded.
No, but I don't have the self-control to not eat them if they're made. But if they are not made, I cannot eat them. So I can literally only make 2 at once because I'm doing it every day. I'm making cookies every single day. So if I do too many, I'm like, does anybody want some?
Yeah.
I mean, sad but true. I would
Can
share
I
them.
I know this is your show, but something I was thinking about, and I want to add, but
It's your show
can I
today.
ask?
Make it your
No, I was
show.
gonna say, can I ask you? Have you felt like this? And maybe if this is too personal, obviously, you can tell me
No, ask away.
to walk off a bridge. But do you feel like this has? I hate to use the word
Who's
triggered.
walking off a bridge? Why are we walking off a bridge?
Listen, because I've got plenty of distance on that bridge from other people.
Okay, that's a good point.
But do you feel like this has sort of triggered losing your mom?
Oh, not too personal at all. Definitely. So right now, the biggest qualm in my family life that is not my grandparents is that we're struggling back home. So my dad is social distancing with his girlfriend. My brother is social distancing with his wife, and my sister didn't know where to go or what to do. She lives in an apartment with her friend. And so, it's been kind of an issue, but it's like my dad, who's in his 60s, has been like, if you came here, you have to come here and stay here. Like I can't have you coming back and forth because he also lives with his mom, who's in her 80s. And my brother wanted to be like, come here, open arms, but my brother's wife is, she gets very anxious. She has like, she's a hypochondriac kind of, which I can relate to, but she gets really anxious about it. So she kind of was like, and so my sister, I was on the phone with her, and I'm 3,000 miles away, but we were like, if mom was alive, she would open arms wherever the fuck she was, be like, you're coming here. If you have to leave, whatever you have to do, you are coming home. Like you are here. I will get you food. I will get you toilet paper. I will get, like, she was just such a mom, a true, like, not, who knows what a true mom is, but like that was her. That's how she like identified. She was like, first and foremost, I am a mom.
I love that.
And so I feel so bad for my sister because my sister on purpose moved home after college and was like, I want to be around family. I moved 3,000 miles away. What are they going to do for me? That's on me.
Oh, yeah, no,
but for her, I feel so bad because my mom would have been just like thriving during this time. I mean, she like loves arts and crafts and baking and cooking and like taking care of people, like all that stuff. So definitely, I was on the phone with my sister for like an hour and a half where she's trying not to be super upset by the situation because like, we can think, oh, we wish all we want, but it's just not an option.
No, I
So
know.
definitely it has triggered some things like that. I don't know if that's in the way that you meant, but that's
No,
like
I
what's
do.
kind of been coming
I do. I also feel like there's like this thing that happens like when I've grieved in the past is like, and I've never had a loss to that extent, but whenever I have gone through grief, like we had a miscarriage, and I remember like being like, what, like some days you're like really fine, and then some days you're like roadkill. And I had that happen during this, and I was thinking,
Really?
yeah, well,
How long ago was that, Kate?
like a week ago, like last Monday, I was
No,
feeling.
how long ago was, your
Oh, the
miscarriage, if
miscarriage?
you
Oh,
don't
the
mind?
miscarriage? No, no, that's fine. It was
Like
before my
like a week ago.
it was 2000, it was it was October 23rd, actual date when I had to have the DNC, of 2013. So basically that was before I even had my first son. So that comes with like all sorts of, I was like, what if I can't have baby? Like it's just, but there would
Yeah.
be like days where I was like totally fine, and I was like, oh, I'm better. Whew. And like then there would be a day where I'm like, well, I'm not getting off this couch. Like I'm not gonna do it. Like,
And
and I
was
had
your
that
husband the
happen.
same way?
No, he was I mean, no, no, that was like the way I described that too is, and I've actually like sort of actually probably, well, I actually wrote a book about it. It's like, do you remember those Little Miss books? Like Little Miss Sunshine, Little Miss Chatterbox, Little
Uh-huh,
Miss.
uh-huh.
Okay. So I wrote one called Little Miscarriage, and it's, my friend illustrated it, and it was sort of to like help, because there's this, I don't know,
Wait,
my
where is this
experience.
book? I never knew this about you.
I know, we like self-published, and then like, I don't, it was like through this, I have like 1,000 copies of them here, but,
I would like one.
well,
I wanna
you
see it.
absolutely can have one. Are you kidding? But it
Thank
was
you.
like, I wrote it because I was like, oh, it's sort of like my tongue-in-cheek humor, and, it was just, the thing that's really hard about something like that is that my husband felt the loss too. He was totally upset about it, but I was like, I'm like on this grief island, like I'm still there, and like you keep like swimming onto my shore and being like, "Come back to the mainland," and I'm like, "No," and it's just like it felt
Yeah.
like he just. It also like wasn't in his body. It wasn't like, it's just
Yeah,
they go
different
through
gen
very
yeah.
different things. So even if you go through it with somebody, you still sort of heal from it at different paces.
How
I
far
had this.
along were you, if you don't mind me asking that?
I don't mind. No, no, I don't mind this at all. I was 12 weeks, so I went to my, I'd seen the
So, had
baby.
you
I'd
told
had 2
people
ultrasounds.
already? If
I had told people the day before.
Because 12 weeks is when they say that you can start telling
Yeah.
people.
And for the record, so then when I actually got pregnant with Neil, who was my first child that I had, if people ask like, why aren't you drinking? I'd be like, because I'm pregnant, but I feel nervous about it. So let's not talk about it. I started telling people earlier because when you don't have people that you've told, like I was like so embarrassed of having told people the day before that I found out that we had lost the baby, that I don't know, like I was just like, I'm gonna tell them, I'm gonna just tell
I
them
think
early
that
this time around.
the thing that people have been saying recently more, because I have a lot of pregnant friends right now, and, like, what
Yeah,
doctors will advise is you
I can
should
imagine.
feel comfortable telling anybody that you would tell if something went
If
wrong.
you That's exactly right. That's right. And
Because
I
then
think
you
that,
would rather them know you don't wanna tell them something went wrong when they don't even know something was happening in the first place.
and that's like, that is the hardest thing is, and so many women, I found out after, like so many of my friends are like, "Oh yeah, I had one too." And like everybody just sort of like keeps it to themselves, or like I don't know. But I
My
just,
mom and my Grammy, both of them.
so I mean, this is the sort of thing like, I'm not saying it is genetic, but like my mother and my sister had 3 kids, my mom had 2. Neither of them had anything happen, but I have heard that like women, you will be you because that happened to both your mom and your Grammy, you're going to be prepared that it could happen to you. Like that's going to be in your realm of possibility. And I
Right.
feel like that is better to go into it being like, oh, this is a thing that happened. And then like, I know that they both had healthy children. So like, should that time come for you ever where you're like, I think I want to have kids. Like that's in your like world of possibility. Whereas like for me, I was like, I'm gonna be fine. Like I felt part of like the thing I felt was like shame that I thought I was just going to be like, like, just
I
I
mean,
can do this.
it's so hard to tell somebody that they shouldn't feel any shame because we all feel that way about
Oh,
things in our life. But and like if you had a friend going through the exact same situation, you would be like, you should feel not one thing about it, but you can't help the way you feel.
no.
And I can imagine in that. I mean, I can't imagine, but having told people the day before that's gotta like have so many.
And it was like the company I had, it was the film production company that just folded actually this year. But that I had worked with, and I had gone back to visit them, and I like sort of went from office to office to tell them because I was back. It was the, it was excruciating the next day.
Why do you think
It
during
was,
this time you're having like that's coming back up?
well, so I'm not like reliving the miscarriage. Like I really do have to say, like, the two boys, it took me a long time to get here, but like the people that I have are the people I was supposed to have. And like, I don't know, but what I will say is that like last Monday, I felt totally, I was like, oh, I can do quarantine forever. I am nailing this thing. Like I had great activities planned. I got a shower in. I did a workout. I was like, I'm amazing. And then the next day I hit this wall that was like, I had to take, my kid is going through this. He's about to turn 5. And we were supposed to go to Legoland 2 weeks ago for his birthday. I convinced him, instead of having a birthday party this year, we'd go do the special thing. We'd go to Legoland. He was so jazzed about that. That obviously, like so many everybody else's plans have been canceled. And then I had to go to the pediatrician with him. And there's something about going out in the world right now that, like, if you're doing fine at home, but then you have to go out,
Mhm.
it just shakes you. I
Yeah.
have found that it's been shaking me. So we went to the pediatrician, and after his 4th round of this antibiotic, his ear infection that he's had has still not gone away. And so we're gonna have to put him on another round, which is not ideal. And the doctor's like, but then probably like, well, you'll have to take him to an ENT, but I don't think anybody's working right now. And I was just like, so I came home and I was just like, I don't want to move. And I was like, oh, it's grief. We're all grieving. That's what we're doing here. Like, that is what
Yeah.
this is. Like,
It's a
everybody's,
familiar feeling for a different reason.
yes. And it's just, I don't know. It just, and then somebody sent me an article. They're like, yeah, they're saying it's that's what we're all doing, is we're grieving. Like, we're grieving our loss of whatever, like our
That's so
lives are.
strange. That's so strange. And yes, yes. And I wonder if you guys at home can relate to that because I definitely can. And like not just that, but different the being out in and out of the hospital right now that I've been doing too
Oh,
is
I don't
obviously reminiscent of things that I've done in the
know.
past. And it's just like, get me the fuck out of here. Like, and then all I want to do is leave the house. And then that's what I'm sitting there hoping for. I'm like, please, please let me leave the house. And then Papa goes into the hospital. I'm like, oh, thank you, Roxy. Thank you for hoping that you could
Hoping that
leave the house. Good job, Rox. Way to fucking do that one.
Yeah.
Like,
You made him sick.
yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying. And so we do have people in the super chat right now and in the Streamlabs and in the Patreon, all with questions and comments. So I do want to get to some of these. And then we can talk more about everything going on. Morse Code Z says double dipping right now as your boy Android defends himself on Backstage. Why is he having to defend himself? Uh-oh. I don't love hearing that he has to defend himself. And I wish that I was with him, but I may
Yeah,
or
can we
may
talk
not
about
have.
that?
Yeah. So apparently I'm supposed to be on Backstage today, but nobody told me. So there's that. And I do a show at this time. So I got an email like literally 15 minutes before. And was like, sorry. I might try to call whatever. We'll see.
Oh,
but
listen.
he's a big boy. He can handle himself. I mean, Mark can.
Yeah. Oh, is that Andraco's nickname is Android?
Yeah, Mark the Android Andraco.
I don't know how I didn't realize that. That's incredible.
It is.
Oh.
Moving on. Will Wheelman Watson says, here's a super chat for 2 super ladies. You both are smart, funny, and beautiful. What's one movie series you've watched more than once during quarantine? I have not watched more than a movie series more than once, but I don't know. Mama, any movies that you're playing twice?
No, but I have to say that I've gone back to The Wire, and it's making me so happy.
What are you watching it late at night after everyone's
Yes.
asleep and you're just, oh, it's so good. It is
It's
so
so
good.
good.
That show is so good. Do you
I
think
also
that The
forgot how
Wire,
good it was.
what do you think between The Wire, Sopranos, and Breaking Bad?
I've answered this the same way every time. It's The Wire for me. And I'm not saying that I'm not. I do feel like comparing Breaking Bad and The Wire. Like The Wire is, what is it? You would know this expression better than me. It's like what American Horror Story is, like anthology. No,
Yeah.
yeah, like
It's an
where it's basically
anthology
like
series.
it's like an anthology series. Like each season, like there's some of the same rotating characters, but like the A story changes. Like whoever the A story was in the first, like they become the B storyline. Like like the B, everybody's like, oh, what season is that? The Docs, Hamster, like everybody knows. Is it the Schools, the newspaper?
Yeah,
So
the Docs.
oh my God. I feel like, are you a big Pablo Schreiber guy?
Why do you ask?
Because I feel like that's your guy.
Yeah, totally. I mean, like
Nikki Savatko, baby.
you read that so quick, but like, yes.
He's so good in that. And I feel did your dimples just get deeper?
No, what? Who? How? No. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Well, we change tones a lot here on the show. So, just changing tones again.
Yeah.
Johanna Check, who's just been so awesome and supportive over the last for a while, says my brother who passed away in 2008 birthday is in 5 days. And even now, 12 years later, I still grieve and blame myself. Pain just doesn't seem to have a timetable. Acceptance just doesn't always stick. I completely agree. I mean, I'm so sorry about your brother, losing your brother. Although actually I hate that term when I say losing, like as if you fucking like forgot somebody, like, oh, we lost. I think it's such a weird, but I'm so sorry to hear that your brother passed away, and the anniversaries of things suck already. And then being in fucking quarantine. Ugh. So shitty. But we're here, and I'm sorry you blame yourself. I don't know what happened, but I can guarantee you shouldn't be blaming yourself. So thank you for being here and sharing that with us, and to all of you guys for being in here and being so vulnerable and open and sharing things. Leave it to Kate to come in with like the most powerhouse story and make people feel comfortable opening up.
I don't know. I think they're probably hoping for a laugh.
No, well, I think we're doing that too. Sometimes grief makes me laugh.
The golden shower rule.
Yeah, golden shower. Don't forget, guys, golden shower. Don't forget. Morse Code Z said he did fine. I don't know who we're referring to anymore.
Android. Probably Android?
Oh, Android.
Or are we talking about Louis C.K.? Or are we talking about R. Kelly?
Well, we did go back to the golden shower talk, so you just never really know. Going over the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. We had one from yesterday that I don't think I was able to read that said, question from Faisal Hadi. Question, what are your favorite and least favorite movies of 2020 so far? Stay safe. Wow, it's going to be so weird at the end of 2020 when we have like 5 movies to pick from. What's your favorite? Anything that you love this year?
I have to say, we did the early. We bought Onward early, and my husband. I haven't
seen it. I haven't seen it.
It's really fantastic. I think Christian, when he reviewed it on the show, said he was like, it's good, and I was like, okay, that sounds like it's maybe not that good.
Yeah.
I think it depends on like what kind of things resonate with you. There was something about like the story is about these 2 brothers, and like I've seen the
trailer that like
that like I thought it was about the dad, but it's actually really, I don't know,
it's brothers.
It's sort of about the brothers, and that like, oh, it just shook me. And also like that was like this was like early in quarantine where we're still like, let's get creative. So I was like, my husband put the tent in the backyard, and like we got the wireless going. So my 4-year-old and I went out there and like did it at like night when it was dark. And that was just, I don't know, it was just kind of, that was like lovely for me.
Wow, that sounds amazing. We're not creative
anymore.
You kind of slay at doing the whole family.
No, I gotta tell you, that was a good solid 4 weeks ago.
That's fine. It will come back. It will cycle. It'll cycle every 3 weeks. We'll do a big tent night. I'm looking at the release dates of what came out. I love Birds of Prey. I loved Invisible Man. Probably my least favorite of the year was Dolittle. That movie was. It was a tough one. I don't like
It's the real golden shower of
Some
2020
might
movies.
say, I think that might be giving it too much credit.
Yeah.
Just TBH. I remember there was another movie I loved. It was an indie, but obviously I don't remember what it was. I'm trying to look at this list, but The Way Back. I loved The Way Back.
I haven't seen that one.
It was really incredible. That movie was awesome. But there've been some good ones. I liked Sonic a lot. Did you see Sonic?
I loved Sonic.
Sonic was badass. Sonic was
Jim
so
Carrey
fun.
is back.
He's
Like,
amazing.
I love it.
Jim Carrey is back.
Jim Carrey is back.
Paige in here. Paige Chandri says, patron and love to best badasses praying for Papo and everyone be safe. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. You rock. Thanks for being a patron. And yeah, Papa's doing okay. A couple people in here have asked. He's doing okay today. So yeah, we're just slowing down the bleeding still, and he's happy to be home, and he's eating well, and very important for you guys to know, he's pooping, which is a big deal.
That is a big deal.
It's a big success. I've spent over 100 nights in the hospital with Grammy and Papo in the 10 years that I've been here, and I cannot tell you the amount of times that we have not been able to leave the hospital because one of the two of them cannot poop. It is like, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but it has been the bane of my existence for 10 years. So when somebody is pooping, it's like, look at it, success, high five.
For the record, that's also a standard for leaving when you're pregnant. Like once you've delivered.
Really?
Or they need to make sure that you've passed gas.
True or false? 50% of women poop themselves when they are giving birth.
100% of me did. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like there's I don't know how you
So
know.
what happens? You just can't even like.
The way you know that you're 10 centimeters dilated is you feel it like you have to poop. I got the epidural both times, but I don't know how you could not. And I, like the first baby, I was like, I just got the epidural, like your legs are like this.
Oh my God.
I remember saying, I could hear, like, I was like, just pushing down. It's not like you can separate, like, okay,
yeah.
I'll not push out of that hole. I'll just like, you know what I mean? But I remember like hearing like the doctor just sort of like, after I would push, I would hear her like swipe something and then like something hit a bag like that. Like I was like a horse. It was like, and I was like, I'm pooping, aren't I? And they're like, you're doing great. It's just, and then with
So you don't even know if you are pooping.
No, you have no idea. You have no idea. But then I'll tell you what, the worst is with my the second boy, the whole reason I even went into labor was because I was you're all welcome for this story.
Yes.
I was super constipated. And so I was like,
you have
really
to have an enema?
Well, no, I was pushing really hard and I broke my water. And I was like, uh-oh. So
is that, did they say that that's possible?
I don't know, but I'm telling you, I was
that's
pushing. All I know is that I was on the toilet, like really straining. And the next thing I know, I'm like, and I was like, uh-oh. So by the time I have him, there's like all this old shit stuck in me. So I'll tell you what, when I was delivering my second kid, the room smelled bad. I can say it. It smelled.
Did it smell like poop, or it smelled like poop mixed with like other?
Nope. You don't smell the afterbirth. No, it smelled like my old shit that I couldn't get out earlier when I was breaking my water.
I'm just like, here's the thing. You got to do it. What are you going to do? You got to do what you got to do. But I have to tell you, every single, I have a friend, I won't say who it is, but she said that she shit herself for 2 years after going through childbirth, like 2 years. When she would go on air, she would have to wear a diaper. For 2 years she pooped herself, and that like fucked me up in the head. Like people do not respect enough what it means to have a child come out of you. That shit is fucking hard. I've never done it, but I have so much respect for those of you who do. Holy shit.
I mean, and it's also like there's different things like and also every time you have a kid it's different, but like there are some women that like their bladders get prolapsed, so like they truly, like I have a girlfriend who I went for a run with when she came out to visit, and she's like, we have to stop, and I was like, why? She was like, I'm peeing, and I was like, what? Like, and it was just like I didn't like, and I definitely can still have a thing like where if I'm holding my pee and I sneeze, like but like I don't have it that like she was like we had to stop and walk because she's like I'm gonna pee myself. And I was like, oh my God, that's so awful. But like you can get surgeries and stuff for it, but like
Yeah, but like I don't want to. I don't want to get surgery. Like who wants to do that? That's oh my God.
I know.
This is why when kids are being bratty to their parents, like I'm sure you guys just want to look at them and be like, "You destroyed my body. Shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. I did everything to
you
get
had like
you here."
nursing into that too. I'm just like now I was like I'm working on a new joke where I talk about how like I'm flat now. Like after nursing 2 kids, and I nursed my second for 2 years. After nursing for 2 years, like
2 years.
yeah, and I was so sad when he wanted to stop. I was like, because I also this is like
Wait,
this
what
is
do you mean when he wanted to stop? What happened? He
oh
said, "I would like
he
to
just
stop."
no, he just stopped. There was like one day
Oh.
where basically he like he would nurse every night, and like there was like 2 nights in a row where like I went out to dinner with a girlfriend and I did something else. So like my husband just gave him whatever. And like then the third night I went in and he said, I want a juice box. And I was like, okay.
Oh, you little dick.
And he had a juice box and he never asked for it ever again. If he sees my boobs now, he will say, milk, there's your milk. And I'm like, nope, it's gone. You made it go away when you broke up with me.
I would think that 2 years would be like so hard to do because or does it get easier?
No, it's they eat so little. It's like by the like when I say I nursed them for 2 years, you only are like giving them sustenance like that first year. But the second year is just about like, like, oh, I'll nurse before
The
now.
bond.
Yeah, it's just the bond. And it's like, but I have to say, this is letting you into my true crazy is I've like got this real darkness in me about, I was like, well, I knew that was my last kid. I'm like, I'm done. I can't do this again. This is our last child. And there was something so sad because I was like, oh, I'm not special anymore. Like, because there is something, even if it's horrible, even if you poop yourself for 2 years after, there is something so incredible about being able, like something that I've had my body my whole life. And I didn't find out until 33 that I could make a baby. Like, it's it's like, it's this unbelievable thing. And then if you're able to breastfeed and if you enjoy doing it, like to be able to do that, like, I don't know, there's just something like, you're like, this is magic. How did I'm like,
This is crazy. You're feeding.
I eat a Dorito and milk comes, like, it doesn't even make sense. Like it does. So I was like, there's nothing special about me anymore. Like, that's how I feel. Like, it's so dark.
I mean,
I know that's not the case.
I'm sure that millions and millions of people have felt that exact same way.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And like, I'm actually jealous of you, Roxy. It's all ahead of you still if you're going to do it. I mean, who knows if you will.
Oh my God. Fuck. I mean, not after everybody tells me what it's like. Fuck that.
But also I feel like you're going to be the type of person, you're going to get pregnant. You're going to look good the whole pregnancy. You're going to be like, I didn't take an epidural because by the time I got to the hospital, I didn't realize I was in labor and I was already at 10. So that will be
literally absolutely not me. I have never had good luck in my entire life. Like, it's
I don't know if
not.
it's good luck. It's good genes. Your mom seems like, what was your mom's labor?
My mom was on bed rest with my sister for 6 months. 6 months she was on bed rest.
Well,
I would go in every single day and draw a pig on her stomach because she has an outie belly button, and I would draw fucking shapes and pigs, and I called it Porky. Every day for 6 months she had to put up with that shit. So
okay, well, I got Pablo Schreiber right at least.
Yeah, that sometimes you win and sometimes you lose. Larry Lee says, Kate, go rent the way back.
I absolutely will.
It is worth your time. I didn't know that you could rent that right now. But
so what's the deal with, like, I feel like AMC I saw was putting movies on, like, what do we need to do to watch movies that would be released in theaters right now? Anybody know?
I have zero idea. Maybe they'll tell us. Dark Faith 66. Sorry, no SEN today. Kate, missed you.
I know.
Yeah, talk about you not being special. They just like Clark better, so it's fine. No, you'll be back.
I will. Someday
back with a vengeance.
I like Clark better too. She probably had
Clark is amazing.
Yeah.
Mayra M says Kate is totally correct. I couldn't leave the hospital until I had a bowel movement. It was I was there 3 days. Oh, that sucks. I was giving so much stool softeners to help. Yeah, they make you fucking do that. Well, at least Grammy probably make you do the fucking prune juice and the stool softener and then the whole thing.
And while you're there, you're like, oh, it's never gonna happen. And then you get like one rabbit pellet out there, like, you can go home, and then you're like, like, it's a total explosion because all of the stool softeners
Softeners
can
hit
like
you at once. Yeah, once it hits, the whole
yeah.
thing hits. Ben Rayner, Kate, and Roxy, you guys are
Oh,
gold together. Yes, I'm so
thank you.
glad that you guys like all of the
I know there's a lot
go,
of
I'm so glad you guys like the golden showers. You like the shit. You like the pregnancies. Who would have guessed that you guys would be here for that? Who
yeah,
would
sorry
have
guys.
guessed? Going back over into the streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Shout out to Tomad, who was just showing some support. Appreciate you. Glenn Caesar says, "Hey, Roxy and Kate, happy Tuesday to you both. I miss seeing each of you on SEN Live, so thanks for doing this with us. Looking forward to hearing about Kate's adventures in quarantine. No question right now, just wanted to support #rockstars and #Katest mom ever."
Oh, so nice.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you.
quarantine adventures consist of talking about this stuff with you guys. So
Yeah, actually, can I hear what a day is like for you? Like, what do you do? What's a typical day for you?
I mean, like wake up, I work,
Whoa,
and
go back. You wake up.
yeah,
Whoa.
I do this like wake up thing. You should try it sometime. I basically am working all day. So I run a social media account for AfterBuzz TV. So I do their Instagram and their Twitter. So that takes so much of the fucking day.
Yeah.
And then I stream every day at 1. And then usually sometimes I have another stream like I do for a couple different outlets. And then I've been working on some projects for Screen Junkies. So I've been writing and doing editorial stuff. And then at some point in the day, I either go to the grocery store to get stuff for Grammy and Papo, or I drive there to bring their meds, or when he was in the hospital, obviously there was a
But
lot
that's
of.
kind of far for you, aren't they in Beverly? No, they're
No, they're
there's
up
none
the
of us.
hill, but it's like
Okay.
with no traffic. I mean, it's 25
Oh
minutes.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
literally like I'm there and back.
Yeah.
Super easy. But we'll talk more day in life. But oh my god, there's so many of these to get through, and I have to let you go
I'm sorry.
soon. So no, don't you be
No.
sorry. Oh, I just sounded like Christian. It came out. We have so many of these to get to, Kate.
Oh, I thought you were saying you sound like Christian when you said no. Don't you be sorry. I'm like he's never literally said that word that phrase a day in his life. Don't you be sorry. No, you're right. Yeah, we have so many of these.
PC says, OMG, Kate, I was so happy when I saw you on Video Drew's stream and now with Roxy. Wow, this is making my month. Can you please do your Roxy impression if Roxy doesn't mind? Love you both. Bunnies for all. Wait, somebody told me you've been doing an impression of me and I'm here for it.
I gotta tell you, I don't think I do I need to study it more, but there's a there's like a
vocal fry.
There's a vocal fry, but you don't do it like but there's okay, let's see. I don't know, like I just sort of like, but I don't like why would you no wait, go back. What do you mean like nothing in the morning, like no TV
More
in the
fry,
morning?
more fry.
More fry.
TV
What do you mean?
morning.
Wait, go back to no TV in the morning. What do you mean by that?
Yeah,
like it's not that good.
Me.
It's not
no,
that
that's
good.
amazing.
It's
I ask
hard,
questions about everything.
It's hard to do it when you're there.
I'll just peek in on you when you're doing it for other people. Paul Denuzio says, just dropping some love to these two lovely and hilarious ladies. We miss you both on SEN terribly. I'm glad you are having these different outlets to reach us. Thanks, Paul. You rock. Sugar Gum says, Kate, are you going to ordain Mark and Roxy's wedding? Mark Ellis and I yesterday, because we sleep on opposite sides of the bed and face the same spoon way. And he wants to meet my dad, decided we had to have a friendship marriage so that we could each get the side of our bed and he could meet my father to talk rock and roll. So if you would like to ordain our friendship marriage, then
would love that. There's also some part of me that I'm like, oh, I kind of want to stand that relationship too. I'm like, I love both of those people so much.
I mean, you might be upset with this, you might not, but he also did ask me to your guys' next Wood Ranch adventure. So I'm not trying to overstep, but he said if Kate's cool with it, you could come to the next one, but only one, but just if she's cool with it. So
I also have to say there's another way in which you guys mirror each other. He lost his dad.
Yeah.
And like that's like that was the first time he went to Wood Ranch was right after he lost his dad. This was way back in the day.
I mean, that must have been a while ago.
Yeah, it was like 2010, 2009, something like that maybe. But that was the first time I took him to Wood Ranch because anyway. And
I always thought I would end up with somebody, what my sister called DPC, stands for Dead Parents Club. I always thought Like literally anytime she goes on a date with somebody, the first question, like usually you ask like, oh, is he cute? Like, oh, what's he do for work? The first question either of us have asked for the last 8 years. DPC? So fucked up. Just in again, golden showers,
Golden showers,
all the
DPC.
things. Gingerbread says, I think we live in an overly sensitive culture, but with Louis C.K. and Aziz, they use their power to act disgusting and violating. And if we don't hold them accountable, then what hill do I have to stand on if a guy I know does what they did to me? Interesting question, Gingerbread. I also think there's a difference between what Aziz did and Louis C.K. did. Aziz going on a date that was like kind of icky, and I would have been like, ugh, didn't like that date. And Louis doing something that really did use his power. But you're allowed to feel Gingerbread however you want. But I like that you're trying to hold them to the same standard that you would hold a normal person, a non-celebrity.
Right.
Yeah. Jake Yacovetta in here says, so great to see two of my favorite people together. I'm like, why? They're so nice. Why? They like us. They really like us. Sean Sullivan, shout out to Sean Sullivan. He says, haven't caught. Shani. He says, haven't caught anyone's streams lately because of work, but popping in to send some love to you guys. Roxy, thanks for keeping your community entertained during this time. Kate, I miss you. Can't wait for all this to be over.
No.
Can't wait for all this to be over is the truest of all truths. Can't wait.
What's your guess? You're talking about
okay, so let's discuss. Some people are saying this entire year, which is stressful.
Wow. That's stressful. That is stressful to hear. Okay.
I've stopped checking in with CNN because I've decided that CNN is making me want to jump off that bridge. So I just would rather, I need a week away from them. I think we will be in this official quarantine, maybe through mid-May.
Okay.
And then I think we'll be out. And then I think we might have to quarantine again.
I think we're going to be in it till August.
Oh, I know you're right.
I think we're going to have to be in it till August. And then I think we're still going to have to quarantine again. I heard the most interesting thing. I can't source it, but it was a guy who had come up with not Tamiflu, but he had worked on a vaccine in the past 15 years, who was saying that there's like this golden circle where enough people have been infected by it. And we find out if there's immunity after you get it. And also there is a vaccine. And he says like a vaccine will be 12 to 18 months from now.
Yes, I heard that too. But even if you can get it again, even if there is not full, even if your body is not fully immune, you will not get it to the same extent, they have said. Like there's there's no version of this where your body is not, like, at least some antibodies have built up. Who the fuck actually knows? Kaylin Rose 715 says,
Kaylin.
You love Kaylin?
I love Kaylin.
Says, I lost my first baby in 2017 when I was 19 weeks along. Being home nonstop is definitely a trigger for me, so this isn't ideal. But my almost 9-month-old baby daughter is making it easier. Wow, so it's so interesting. I never thought about like why we're feeling these things right now, but it makes sense. We are all grieving again. Oh, I'm glad that you have a 9-month baby girl to make it to
also
at least
19. Jesus, Kaylin probably had to deliver that baby, unless my math's
at 19.
wrong.
Really?
I don't think you can do it. I don't think you can do a DNC that late, but maybe she could. They're big. They're big at 19. They're viable. They're viable at 24 weeks. They are viable outside of the body. God forbid, but Kaylin, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's horrible. Tim Koskuba says, hey, Rox and Kate, love y'all's chemistry. Going back to that old live show on that other channel. Roxy, you've spoken about your love for chocolate chip cookies. I'll assume that's number 1. What are your number 2 and 3 on your cookie top 3? Kate, what are your top 3? Do you have a cookie top 3?
I don't think I do. I've like maybe cookie brands that I love.
Oreos are so good.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, but like, have you ever had Snookies out here, Roxy? Snookies?
No.
Cookies? Those are really good. And
I've had Cookie Good. Have you had Cookie Good?
No.
It's really good. Diddy Reese is great, and Milk Jar has
Oh yes,
amazing cookies
yes,
too.
yeah.
I like a chocolate chip cookie. I like Oreos with peanut
Oreos.
butter on top,
Yes.
double stuffed, obviously, and I love a good snickerdoodle cookie.
Mega stuffed. Have you gone mega stuffed Oreos yet?
Uh, who do you think I am? Just like such a fucked up question.
Some people think it's too much. It's
Golden
not.
shower yourself.
Golden shower.
Some people are morons, you know. So let's just be
I just got a dry cough. Did that joke give me COVID?
my joke's so good it gave a COVID. I should be a rapper, and that
Oh
should
my
be the
God.
lyrics.
Oh my
All right, so
God.
that's kind of our cookie picks. PC
Yeah.
says, "Are you seriously done having kids, Kate? I gave up hope last year of having a daughter, maybe in another life."
Yeah, PC. Yeah, I'm done. I feel done. I feel very I don't
Good for
feel
you. Take a
yeah.
stand.
Yeah, I feel like I just here I've said to my husband I will adopt a third child before I have another. I'm not any good in the newborn phase at all. And I
I
couldn't
don't
do it
believe
again.
that.
I'm telling you, it's why I'm on Zoloft is that newborn phase is really. This is the other thing. What people are experiencing during quarantine now is what mothers with newborns feel. You can't go anywhere. You're by yourself. You're sort of like the only difference is I remember like standing over a sink in our apartment in West Hollywood, like weeping as I saw people walking by on the sidewalk. And I remember saying like,
Yeah, you felt alone. Now it's everyone.
yeah. And I was like, I'm never going to go to lunch again. And my husband's like, I'm pretty sure you're going to go to lunch again.
Nope, never.
Never.
Nope,
That's how I felt.
never.
But that's all of us right now. I don't think we're ever going to go out to eat
I
again.
can't believe you said August, and I can't believe you were right. Shout out to Michael Carter Jr. and cousin Vinny, who says, "I don't like shipping people in real life because it makes me uncomfortable. LOL, but I ship Mark and Roxy. Hashtag Moxie. I know it's messy, but think of your father, Rox." That's amazing. Think of my dad. And my dad would love Mark. It's very true. Shout out to Larry Lease, who says, "Roxy, you're nice, but the hat has horrible taste." As I already mentioned, some people do have horrible taste, and it's not me. It is not me, Larry. Tony Current says, "Hey, Roxy, talk about Andy Bro. Have you seen his streams lately?" Oh, I'm not even gonna address that. Going back into the Patreon, because we had some questions from Kate in here. Kate, Donier says, "What's the best Chicago food?" Best Chicago food.
Chicago's actually become a foodie town now, so I don't know about. I know, like if like you want fish, I'm Lou Malnati's girl.
Wait,
Oh,
all of a sudden, you're kind of in and out, breaking up. All I heard was Chicago's become a foodie town.
Chicago's become a foodie town, but I don't know anything. Does this work? Does it sound better or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
But I Lou Malnati's for pizza and Portillo's for hot dogs. And yeah, that's
Love hot dogs.
I love a hot dog.
I love hot dogs. All right. Alias says, "What's the dumbest things your kids have done?" I'll just throw some shade at your kids.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what. It's we had an incident the other day. This is my husband changed the 2-year-old's diaper standing up and did not see that a little turd had fallen out. And I found it later on the floor smashed. And I was like, well, somebody stepped in this. And it turns out my 4-year-old had stepped in it and traipsed it through the house. And I was like, where did you go when you were playing that game? Where did you go? He's like, I went and jumped on your bed. So.
Oh my God. What did you do?
I put Lysol wipes, which are a hot commodity right now, under my feet. And I did like figure skating up and down my hallway. I stripped. Yeah, I like to like get everything because I'm like I can't just like wash the floor with like wood floor cleaner. I need to like wash the floor. Like I need to like disinfect the floor. I had to hot clean all of our sheets. I didn't see it anywhere on the sheets, but I was like, I'm not taking any chance. Like it was just.
But like this is unrelated to that, but kind of related, but not related to your situation because you guys have been social distancing. But do you know that they say that COVID, like one of the main ways that it's going is through feces, because it lasts longer, more contagious in feces. Thank you, CNN. Thank you, CNN.
Through the end of the year.
Oh, they're killing me. I don't like it.
Fantastic.
In the Patreon, Glenn Caesar says, "What have you been doing to keep your two young kids busy and entertained during the past few weeks? What are your go-to games or movies, TV shows that you've been revisiting or trying out for the first time?" Kate, what do you think? What you got?
I think the best thing for little kids is like to maintain a schedule, and I don't mean like you have to have like but like as I said, like the morning there's like pre-nap time and then there's post-nap time. So pre-nap time we always have like we know that that snack is going to be at like 10:30 or 11. So
We know that. We
know that. Everybody knows. You guys all know that.
That's
I'm
what
not telling you
snack time
something
is.
new. Yeah. But like as I said, I switch up what the day is. So like Tuesday would have been his I had like sort of the luck. I was subbing for his school, so I got to see what a school day was like for them. So like the first 30 minutes of the day, I like put
You substitute teach for the school? Damn.
Yeah. I was like getting my teaching degree. So so I like one of the things that people don't like when you have multiple young kids, they will play together. So like part of it is like taking out old toys they haven't seen, like putting like only 3 out in a room and like putting on a record or putting on some sort of music and like letting them go as long as they will. Sometimes I'll get a half hour, sometimes I'll get 45 minutes. And then like today was gymnastics day at school. So we did like Cosmic Kids yoga on Amazon. And it's like this woman tells a story and takes them through yoga poses and stuff. And then when they wake up,
that's kind of adorable.
It's, I'm telling you, you got to look this up, Roxy, because she's so cute. This woman, she's British, and she's just like, then the wolf said, "Ow, can you?" It's just like you have to like go into like Cobra.
Cat. Yeah.
And, like,
wow. Cool.
Yeah, or whatever it is. Yeah. And then like I got a bunch of board games. Like I thought we could play. The 4-year-old, he's about to be 5, but like he's better at that stuff. The 2-year-old just like he's a nightmare. So sometimes we'll split kids up so that we can have. Oh, and we've been building Legos, 1,000 Legos.
Oh, I got to do my Lego set. I have a Lego set to build and I need to do it. Kate, do you have to get back to your family or can I keep you for 10 more?
I can actually, if you need me through bedtime, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I'm going to keep you for the next 6 days.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
And I'll give you a day off and then
sorry, yeah, no, I can't. Yeah, can you change it? Could you change it? I can't. It's just that I'm here with
sorry. It's just like an important time. I'm so sorry. Just this is we are essential workers. Sorry. Essential. Did you hear? Yeah. So if you have a problem, take it up with the government. It's okay. Yeah.
It's very important what I'm doing. It smelled terrible when I had my second child. It's essential what I do.
What is worse, when second child poops and first child walks it through the house, or when Kate has second child and you have to be in room
with it? I guarantee you.
The hard questions.
I guarantee you. It is.
All right. Going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Anthony Crotty says, "Hi, Kate and Roxy. I was in the middle of eating dinner when you started talking about the shit show. It was great to see you both together. Tons of love."
I love it. He sent me a birthday message in his Irish accent. It was the sweetest thing ever. He's like,
"Oh, it's your birthday,
March 3rd. I just made it before quarantine."
I feel like I've missed everybody's birthday.
Well, what are you gonna like? What for my birthday? What are you gonna do? You gonna be like, "Hey, you're getting closer to 40."
Nice makeout session, maybe.
Those were the days.
Totally. Those were the days. Also, shout out to Miss Movies, our friend Miss Movies in here. Hey, ladies. Hi, Miss Movies. You rock. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Also, Larry Lee says, "Go Nationals, World Series champions. Gotta take off now." Thanks for making me say go Nationals. Going back into the Streamlabs, Kaylin Rose says, "TMI, but yes, Kate, I had a delivery and you're absolutely right. You think you failed in some way, even though every medical professional said it was a fluke and the whole Merc with a movie blog crew is shipping Roxy and Mark right now. We've created a monster."
He's going to be so happy.
Can I tell you that truly, we would make for the world's worst couple because of how so individual and set in our way. Like if he
That's
tried,
actually why you're perfect. Can you
that
stop for a second? That is
mm,
actually why you're perfect, because you're gonna live and let live. He's gonna get the football
no,
all wrong, which
no,
is needs.
no.
You're gonna be no.
Kate, I do not live and let live on. That is my least. If I'm like, no, you do this the way that I need help, or you get the fuck out of the house. Thank you, because I can be alone. Thank you.
Well, he can too. That's the thing.
That's
That's
the
the thing.
problem. So we would
That's the
both
thing.
just decide, all right, then fine, you be alone. Fine, I will be alone. I don't need you, Mark, if that's even your real name. That
Oh,
sounds like me. I'm really easy and pleasant to be with. Glenn Caesar says, "Great show, you guys. I agree with Ben Rayner. The Kate Rock show is gold. I know I keep pitching you collabs, Roxy, but you two need a show together. I mean, I know
no.
we're already getting a Brett Kate show, but a Roxy Kate show works too. Love you both lots. Hell yeah. Also, what's the Brett Kate show?
Well, we were actually in meetings about it prior to quarantine, and then it
Oh, I
sort of
think
got
I heard
halted.
about
So
this. I think I heard about
yeah.
this. Right.
So now we're trying to figure it out. But so what we're gonna do, I don't think I'm announcing it when I shouldn't be, but the SEN Patreon $10 tier is now we're gonna be working out the show basically while in quarantine for that tier, doing like
Cool.
live streams. Yeah.
My God,
Um,
just another reason to be an SEN $10 tier patron.
hello.
So many.
Yeah.
It's great because the way the thing cuts off, it like I think you raised your arms, but this is what it looked like.
Yeah.
Goalposts. Joey Hornrich says, just saw you in Method in the Madness, and hilariousness made my quarantine so far. Do you have any stories during the movie role experience? Oh, thank you, Joey. Madness in the Method. Yeah, that was the one time you can see me in a movie. The J Muse movie. I appreciate that. You know, any stories during it? All I can talk about is the way that I got that was by doing a show with Jay Muse, and he was just so freaking awesome. And he brought the writer of the movie, Dom Burns, to set when I was at Screen Junkies. We were doing Flash and Friends, and just I couldn't believe it. They just like asked me if I would be
I love
in
that.
the movie, because that's the way that the Kevin Smith camp just kind of works. But then 8 months went by and I heard nothing, so I was like, that was probably just kind of like a
Oh,
not happening thing. No worries. And then I saw that they shot the movie, and I was like, totally, yeah, like
it's the
that's
worst feeling.
fine. And then they called me and were like, "Hey, tomorrow can you come do your part of the shoot? Like, we just need you for this quick thing." And I was like yes, wherever you went at, yes, yes on yes on yes. So it was pretty incredible, and I will say that Jay and Dom and everybody who worked on it has been so cool to me. Just like amazing, and I'm working on things with Dom right now for the future. So fingers crossed. But thank you, Joey, for watching. I
That's
appreciate
awesome.
that.
That's another one going on my list now.
It's fun. It's interesting. It's very meta. Because Jay Muse plays Jay Muse, and they like actually it's a comedy, but it's a dark comedy. And they actually explore some of the things that Jay Muse has battled with in his life. It's interesting.
Oh,
Suge Knight in here. Suge Knight says,
hi,
just
Richard.
wanted to stop by and say hi. Both of you are great managers of the Schmodown. And of course, Kate, you're just awesome. Question for Kate. How has being a manager changed your perspective on Schmodown? Also, Den for life. Love to you, great ladies.
He's by the way, he's sucking up to me because he did that thing, the like, which faction are you? And
Mhm.
he got swag and was like overjoyed by it. And he was like, I'm with the drip drip, baby. I'm like, excuse you?
That
So
is rude AF. I love that that thing exists, though.
I know I took it. I'm not kidding you. I did it. I posted it in stories. I took it 3 times. 2 of those 3 was Finstock Exchange. I was like, why? I look like a homeless man? Really? It's
Mm,
not my. How dare you? Don't
it's
think
so
that.
rude. It is really rude. So what is it? How has it changed your perspective on Schmodown?
I
Did
think
you
I just
have much of a perspective on Schmodown before?
no. It was sort of like I was like, oh, my friend Christian does that thing, and like
Right.
I didn't really know about it, and I have to say, like the the way that people take it so seriously, and I'm sort of seeing people's processes, and like Sean Sullivan, like I don't know, I just feel like that day being like, Sean, can you, like, he's like, I'm on my way to the match. And I was like, okay, well, they want to know if you can fight to, like, if you can go up today. And he's like, great, I'll just swing back to get my study guide. And I like, it's just stuff, I don't know. It's just like, I don't think I understood what went into it. It's a lot of work for the managers though, too.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of,
it is more work this year than I ever expected.
I'm so glad to hear you say that, because I'm like, what did I very offhandedly agree to?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm, more work, more reward. But at the same time, it definitely is because I've never had this many competitors and dealing with their schedules. Obviously, it's different during quarantine time, but still, like, checking in and making sure everybody's cool. And then there was the inner geeking thing, but then, like, I found out through Twitter that wasn't happening.
I still haven't found out that. So that's not happening? Okay, cool.
I think I saw him tweet it. I think so.
Okay, well,
you guys tell me if I'm wrong, but like, trying to figure that out and talking to Jared Haben and Alex and trying to figure out whether this is smart for them to do, and if it's because they get points or if they want a title, like what, just so many different things. So even during this time, there's just a lot of back and forth, and it's cool because I love these people, but it's also like, definitely, you didn't sign up to be a manager like it was like being a manager in 2019. 2020 is like a whole different ball game.
I just and also just managing like the stuff that happens on like backstage. Like I'm not ever on backstage, and then I'll like find out like this happened, and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, it's just like,
I know. Backstage is happening right now, by the way. So when you guys are done with the show, go check them out.
Yeah.
Miss Movie said, glad I turned down management, but that was mainly because my kids are in sports. And also, Miss Movies, I think you do an amazing job at the desk. And I know that managers aren't really on the desk this year. And I just think you do an awesome job on the desk. So I'm excited to see if that's something you want to do. I like seeing you there. I think you give great commentary, and you know the game so well. So I love still having you involved. Same thing with Fife, who's not managing, but I think she does a great job on the desk as well. And she does a good job when Jen's not there doing post-game stuff too. So I just think, as much as people can't do all, management takes a lot of time, but there's other positions that you can kind of like do pop in, pop out more. And Miss Movies, I'm glad to see her doing that.
Me too.
For sure.
She does that with your boyfriend, Mark. Interesting.
It's funny because I said pop in, pop out, and then you said she does that with Mark.
Yeah. Okay, to be clear, sorry.
We do need to get out of here in a couple minutes, but a few more Streamlabs are coming in. 50 Shades of Geek says, Shalom, Roxy, will you be celebrating Passover this year? I'm trying to put together for Grammy and Papo, for their kids and grandkids, a matzah and Manischewitz Zoom call. So I'm telling everybody in my family to go get wine and matzah, because we can't do a whole fucking Seder, but if they can just get wine and matzah, and then we can all hop on Zoom for like 15 minutes, because it's too many people to be there for a long time.
Do you make
anything?
Do you make a good maror? No, it's the chamos. What is it? The chamoset? What's the one that's got the
charoset?
Charoset. Is that the apple cinnamon?
It's like sometimes with nuts, apple cinnamon. It. Yeah. Grammy has a great recipe for it. I'll get it to you if you want to make it for Passover.
We just did our mock Passover yesterday, our mock Seder yesterday with the boys.
What are you doing? What's your Easter thing?
Easter, we'll do like Easter here, but it was through his preschool because he goes to the Jewish preschool.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yes, and every time we sit down, even in I just put like a carpet out in our lawn. We did a picnic out on our lawn, and every time we sit down, they want to do the hamotzi. And like, our neighbor was in his backyard, and he was like, like, what are you doing? Because they hear like I was all going,
oh my God, you're so good, great job.
Okay. Anyway, every meal.
Very impressive. 50 Shades of Geek also said, I just noticed I came to the show an hour late. Oh, well, guess I'll have to watch the replay as soon as it's over. Happy Passover, Roxy. Good day, Kate. Doesn't Passover not start until tomorrow, or is it late tonight? Sundown tonight?
The 7th.
Today is the 7th.
Yeah, I think it starts today. Maybe I'm wrong.
Maybe tonight. I thought it was the 8th, but I don't know.
Why is this night different than all of the nights?
Because we're in fucking quarantine. Stop asking me.
Yeah.
PC says favorite book. One of my faves is Love in the Time of
Cholera.
Cholera. What's it called?
Cholera. That's the
Cholera.
disease. Yeah,
All
love
right.
time. Yeah.
Thinking about writing hate in the time of quarantine. LOL. I kid. I kid. A favorite book. Do you have a favorite book?
I remember really being moved by The Kite Runner. I remember like that was like a book that I really like legitimately cried at. No, I don't. I mean, I loved the Lord of the Rings books. Loved those. And we're making our way through Harry Potter right now. So,
I don't
but those
have a
are
favorite book.
such basic answers.
No, it's fine. I mean, growing up, like I loved Of Mice and Men and Catcher in the Rye and all those things that we read. But I really, what I always loved was biographies. There was an entire biography section that I went through every single book. I loved autobiographies and biographies. That was always my favorite. I love hearing about people's lives. That's
This
like
is,
my
this is why you're the best interviewer. There it
just
is.
real
That's the
people's
crux of
lives.
it.
Like
Yeah.
because I just love real stories. Obviously I love fantasy and everything too, but just even starting when I was 5, I remember I took out Betsy Ross's biography like 45 times from the library. It's like, how fucking interesting could this person be? I took out every single Harriet Tubman book. I mean, I just like went through
Oh my God, I
all
love
of the,
that.
and I was just like little chubby kid who had not many friends, who was like to go over to the section and just take all the biographies. And people were probably like, why does she want, like everybody be getting Clifford? And I would be like, ooh, a new Harriet Tubman biography. I was really cool. It was great. It's fine, guys. It's totally fine. I moved on in my life.
Why do I not believe that you were a chubby kid?
I'll show pictures. I wasn't
Okay.
I wasn't a fat kid. We had a 2 junk a day rule growing up. And
Yeah.
I abused it. I tell people this, but I used to keep Skittles in my belly button. Or like just hide food. And like convinced my parents that popcorn wasn't a junk, so I could have like a whole bag of popcorn, and then I could have a junk wasn't one Oreo, it would be how many ever Oreos were in a pack. So
Right.
like I just,
I'm
I
with
would,
you on this math.
it was like really, I was like, all I wanted was junk. I mean, every junk food. I ate every single junk food until I was like, oh, this isn't like good. My dad was a bodybuilder, and he was just like, just so you know, like do what you want totally and look however you want, but like this isn't like healthy. And I was like,
Oh.
oh, health. And then a
Oh.
lot of the biographies were talking about health issues. So, mattered to me. All right, that is it for today's show. Kate, what are you working on? Where are you? How can they buy your book? Like when are you back
No, I
on
actually
SEN, or what are you doing? Anything,
I don't
anywhere,
know.
anyhow?
Christian sent me a text this morning at 9 saying, "You want to be on today?" And I said, "Yeah." And then it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
Mhm.
Honestly, it is fine. They can, I mean,
It's fine. Okay. It's
yes,
like
it's fine. I'm
seriously
fine with it.
fine.
It's fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine.
Fine.
No, don't you be sorry. That's what he's never going to say to me.
Yeah, no, I heard him say that.
No, so basically we're gonna, I think starting sometime this week, we're having a meeting at 3 today actually to talk about it. But I think Brett and I are going to start putting our content out on the Patreon $10 tier for SEN.
That's awesome.
So, or
I'm
maybe
excited about that.
I think it's SEN. I think it's the SEN $10 tier.
It makes more for what I
Makes more sense.
thought
Yes.
that you guys were doing.
Yes.
Although, what is the show at all? Do you have a?
So the ultimate show, when we do the show in the future, in August or after, or May or after, Roxy, is
Thank you.
it's the sort of loose premise of it, but we're going to build it with the fans doing the Patreon thing. But the loose premise is like it's like sort of in like an alphabet game. It's like ABCs with Brett and Kate, and basically every week we're going to have like 3 different segments. So like the first segment, it's gonna be a lot of interaction with the fans. Like A might be like ask me anything, and then we'll like pick a letter. And it might be like we might pick the letter Z, and like we might decide that like for the next week we want the fans to tell us what movie they want us to watch. Like one of the letters every week will be dedicated to a movie that people want us to watch and review. So like we'll go and then like it might be like we might get the letter C and be like, okay, we're gonna do a cooking lesson with Brett. We might get like
I heard about the cooking part of it. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
the whole
so,
thing is great. You guys work so well together. You're such good friends and just have
yes.
amazing chemistry. So,
Well, thank you.
time to get on that $10 tier, y'all.
Well, so then the $10 tier is just going to be us. We're going to do a show maybe once or twice a week, and we're going to be doing an activity, but we're going to be talking with the fans about what the actual show should be like how to
So
make
they
it
get to build the show. It's like
Yeah.
Build-A-Bear, but
It's like Build-A-Bear, exactly.
Build a Brett and Kate.
And yeah.
I think that everybody should go do that right now. Stop what you're doing. Go get that $10 tier. Go watch them. Everybody, do it, do it, do it. Glenn Caesar says, "Happy birthday, Mohammed Belsin."
Happy birthday, Mohammed.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday. I butcher last names always. What do you think? Belsin?
Belsin, yeah.
Belsin.
Maybe if that's pronounced like the river in Paris, Belsen. I mean,
are you trying to show off?
I'm just saying. Listen, no. I'm just saying, if it's like the river in Paris, it'd be Belsen.
The one that I went to in the spring of 98.
Nope. Actually, nope.
That was amazing. All right, Kate, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun.
Thank you guys at home for being here. Tomorrow, because I know that you guys like a midweek solo stream, I'm going to be doing it by myself. The next day, Snyder is coming on with me, Jeff Snyder. And right now we are possibly in the works to be doing a Sunday World Girls thing, but I'll keep you guys posted on all of those things that are happening. If you want to ask my future guest questions, the Patreon tier for $10 and up, you get to ask questions for all the guests who come in. If you want to watch me do cooking stuff at night or baking or getting baked or any of those things that I decide to do at night, then make sure you join at the $3 tier and up. Appreciate you guys being here. One more time at home, you guys know we like to give a round of applause for our guests. This is how we feel connected. No, for you. Because this is like, I feel like I hope, honestly, it might just be me clapping, but I hope they all clap at home because it makes me feel like a part of something.
That's so sweet.
But isn't it like, you just want to feel like a part of something right now?
I know. Believe me.
I'm part of the
club. I'm never going to have lunch again.
I get it though. We all get those things in our head, and like that's how it comes out. Also, shout out to Miss Movies who stayed in here with us and is clapping in the thing. Appreciate you. Yeah. Bye, Kate. Bye, everybody. You guys rock. Oh, Ezra Miller. Fuck. I'll talk about it. We'll talk about it tomorrow. But way to take that fan down, Ezra. Stick it to the man.
Bye.